Keir Starmer, once seen as the bright hope of the Labour Party, has now found himself in the abyss of an unprecedented crisis. After a shocking on-air revelation, Isabel Oakeshott, a brave investigative journalist, presented startling facts about the massive cover-up in Southport, which instantly undermined Starmer's credibility and left him in complete disarray. Now that the truth has finally come to light, not only the Labour Party, but Starmer's entire political career is on the brink of disaster. Will he be able to save the situation? Or is it too late to restore trust? This issue is becoming more urgent and alarming. Let's delve into this critical topic in today's video. In recent weeks, a real storm of rumors about corruption in Southport has erupted in political circles. What once seemed like only minor gossip has now grown into a serious scandal with far-reaching consequences, and all this threatens the future not only of Starmer, but of the entire Labour Party.
Well, I'm not really surprised that Channel 4 couldn't get its head around the story because they don't have the right judgment. You know, they are out of touch with how viewers and voters feel. This is actually kind of one of the most dangerous stories for a government or political party because it's really quite easily understood. It's just a rich guy, and I actually make no criticism of him. It seems he's played his hand quite well, spraying money and favours around the very top of this government. And people hate that stuff. And they also recall that the last bunch that were the recipients of this kind of largesse were the Tories, and they were the ones partying in Downing Street and so on. And guess who was on their high horse criticising it all? It was this lot. And that's what people hate. They hate the hypocrisy.
This region plays a crucial role for any party seeking to take a leading position in the country. However, recent events have revealed a disturbing truth. People are being mistreated, often without the slightest reason to call the police. And now, when serious problems begin to appear, it becomes obvious that millions of pounds allocated to public projects have simply disappeared into thin air. These funds, intended to improve infrastructure and social programs, disappeared without a trace, leaving behind only disappointment and anger. But thanks to Isabel Oakeshott's relentless investigation, the truth finally came to light, and it was a real shock. Oakeshott, known for her uncompromising approach, presented a series of shocking revelations, accusing the Labour leadership, led by Starmer, of sacrificing honesty for their political survival. She anxiously warned that public trust would be further undermined as members of Parliament would be banned from speaking out, creating a gloomy and oppressive atmosphere within the party. Oakeshott claimed that Starmer's team deliberately concealed details of the Southport scandal to protect their reputation, and this raises deep concerns about the future of the Labour Party.
They hate the lies, and it's quite obvious to me that there have been lies and that there are still lies. So in itself, that setup of the message during lockdown from Lord Ali's flat that was made to look like Keir Starmer's own property, that was a lie.
And that is, for me, possibly the worst and most damaging aspect of this story. That this is a guy who is leading our country, who is the representative of the United Kingdom at the United Nations. You know, he's not the head of state, but he's, you know, the leader of the nation. He has lived a complete lie.
She even dared to suggest that Starmer himself might have been aware of the financial frauds and perhaps approved of attempts to hide them. Oakeshott describes a disturbing practice of secrecy that can undermine public confidence in the party as a whole, leaving people confused and perplexed. Citing Dominic Cummings' information on internal processes, Oakeshott argues that Starmer would probably have been informed of such critical details within minutes or hours. Millions of pounds allocated to community development and infrastructure projects in Southport remain unaccounted for, according to reports. These funds could be a spark of hope for local residents, transforming their lives and improving the prospects of the area. Instead, the resources simply disappeared, leaving behind only bitter questions and a sense of betrayal. One of the experts stressed that this indicates the concealment of information at the highest level and, most importantly, raises the disturbing question of why the Labour Party chose the path of secrecy instead of transparency. This causes deep concern and casts doubt on the future of the party.
So I think there is something bigger going on here, and it's annoying because I don't know what it is. And I know that the lobby of political journalists at Westminster feel the same. All of us instinctively feel that there is some big fact here that we're not being made.
I mean, I'm going to ask the question because nobody else will. Is it some kind of sex thing, do you think?
So there have long been rumours about Keir Starmer's private life, and they certainly aren't to do with any kind of doubts over his sexuality, if I can put it delicately. Okay. They are to do with his past and what the shape of his family really looks like.
This is not just poor financial management, but a betrayal of promises made to the very people the Labour Party claims to represent. The timing of this scandal appears to have been carefully calculated, as it seems Starmer and the Home Secretary were fully aware of these critical details from the very beginning. The most serious aspect of this scandal is how the Labour Party has handled the aftermath. Internal sources report that whistleblowers attempting to expose the truth have been threatened and bullied. Instead of embracing transparency, Starmer's leadership has silenced those who dare to speak out. Public reaction has been strong and swift, with social media platforms flooded with anger and shock. One prominent tweet summarized this sentiment, saying that Starmer promised a new era of politics, but all we've received is a continuation of the old ways. Petitions calling for a full independent investigation into the Southport scandal are gaining significant traction, with thousands of signatures gathered within hours. This is not merely a political scandal, but a breach of public trust, with voters demanding answers. We are witnessing one of the largest cover-ups in history. A source cryptically remarked, "I can only say I know far more than the British public."
What is he talking about? I mean, that video is just so much guff, isn't it? Nothing means anything. I'm so sick of hearing politicians in leadership positions talking about delivering.
Yes.
They're not pizza drivers, are they? They're not Deliveroo people delivering takeaways. Nobody knows what any of this stuff means. And I've seen him at it again today when he's talking about why he feels the need to go all the way over to Brazil for the G20, having just come back from God knows where else, Azerbaijan and all the other globe-trotting he's doing. And he always starts his sentence with, "Let's be clear."
Yes.
Whenever any politician says, "let's be clear," that just means they're playing for time and trying to make themselves sound more important.
The controversy continues amid a tumultuous public outcry, and the Labour Party itself is plunged into deep turmoil. Senior members of Parliament are panicking and going to an emergency meeting to discuss this scandal, which has already become a real nightmare. One insider described the situation not just as a PR disaster, but as a full-scale leadership crisis that threatens the very essence of the party. Starmer's leadership, once considered the hope of bringing the Labour Party back to power, is now under intense scrutiny and fierce criticism. Isabel Oakeshott is alarmingly hinting that the Southport scandal is just the tip of the iceberg. She claims that new scandals are ahead of us, each one lies as each of which may be even more devastating than the previous one. If her words are confirmed, this could be the beginning of a chain of events that will undermine confidence in the Labour Party and in Starmer himself. This is not just a test of his leadership, this is a crucial moment that will determine his future. Will he be able to step forward, admit his mistakes and start working to restore trust? Or will he continue to hide in the shadows, taking the Labour Party to the bottom? As a result of this unexpected turn of events, a petition calling for the resignation of Keir Starmer has collected more than 3 million signatures and continues to gain popularity by the hour.
Look at the state of the country. Does anyone honestly think that Labour is delivering whatever it is he says they're delivering? They're just delivering more woe, more problems.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at what he's going to miss because he's in Brazil, cozying up to President Xi. He's going to miss the farmers' protest, which is possibly going to be the single biggest issue, which might be a problem for this government and might even bring them down. Jeremy Clarkson apparently is going to be out front leading it. I've been already told by people that I know inside of the police who are suggesting that they might try and stop them from getting down to Westminster because they're frightened, they're terrified.
Some are calling it the biggest political petition of the year, and these are not just words. They are a cry of despair, reflecting the deep disappointment caused by the scandal in Southport and the suffocating atmosphere of secrecy within the Labour Party. After the shocking revelations of Isabel Oakeshott on live TV, Keir Starmer's reputation collapsed like a house of cards. The unexpected revelation of a massive fraud in Southport has shattered the credibility of Starmer and the Labour Party, leaving behind only the ashes of hope.
For 7 weeks, the Starmer clan stayed in Lord Wahid Ali, Dr. Feelgood for the Labour Party. You need stuff? I got money. What do you need? I got money. Holidays.
Houses.
You want to go to New York? Yeah. What you looking for? What you like?
Loads.
1.2 million pounds. I think I can help you. You know, it's just ridiculous. And that's the problem. It's the scale of this.
We'd all like someone like that in our lives, right? But we're not.
As I told you, I do know Wahid, and he's a lovely man. He's a nice man, and I know from the kind of guy he is, he's not trying to get advantages for his business, but he is one of those people, he just likes to be in the mix.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing.
Questions about his leadership, including the need for transparency and addressing vital issues such as immigration and the economy, are now under unrelenting public scrutiny. The Labour Party is trapped in an unprecedented crisis, and their promises of change, which once inspired millions, are crumbling right before our eyes. Will they be able to get up from their knees? Or is this really the end of a party that was once a symbol of hope and justice for many? Time will tell, but right now there is a sense of anxiety and uncertainty in the air. What do you think about this video? Share your thoughts in the comments. See you later.